Welcome to Brew School. This is going to be a series that breaks down some of the best tips in making great coffee. And on Taste Kitchen, we're going to do it with some experts that are going to be talking not only about the devices that you need to use to make great coffee, whether you're a restaurant operator or you're doing this at home, but also we're going to be talking about some of the greatest blends and coffee beans around the world, brought to you by Partners Coffee out of New York. They're experts from the reality of Brew School are actually going to join us right here in the Taste Kitchen. So join us as we step in. All right, so welcome to Taste Kitchen and our first episode of Brew School. And today we're here on Brew School, we'll be talking about the French press. And the French press is one of those classic brewing devices that everybody loves and everybody has a certain way of using. And that's what we're going to be breaking down today, is how to use it from the experts. And to do that, I've got Cary from Partners Coffee out of New York with me. Welcome to Brew School.
Hi, how are you doing, Paul?
I'm good. All right, so Cary, let's get into a little bit about Partners, okay? We had a chance to meet your founders at a show last year in New York. We were so impressed by the story. We thought, what a great thing to do of bringing a how-to. Little did I know that you guys have an actual brew school. So it was the perfect name for this segment series. Tell us a little bit about Partners and what you guys are doing up there in New York.
Yeah, so Partners Coffee, we started in 2012 in Brooklyn, New York. We have 5 other locations all over New York City. We work with wholesale and we have retail locations as well.
Great.
We direct source our coffees and we roast to order.
Very nice. Okay, so today we're going to be working on a few tools here, and we'll kind of walk through each of these for our audience. But before we get started on the items we're going to need for using the French press, let's go into the bean, and that is Miracle on North 6th Street. This is one of your classic holiday blends that you guys do each year. Talk to me about this coffee concoction you've got right here.
Yeah, definitely. So Miracle on North 6th is our annually holiday release. It's one of my favorite coffees that we release every year. It's flavors that embody the holidays. We have notes that we generally try to look for every time we are creating this. And it's usually spiced oranges, mulled wine, warm spices. So basically flavor notes that make you kind of feel like you're in that holiday spirit.
I like it. Yeah. So I'm looking at it on the tasting notes on the packaging here, orange, cinnamon, and Malbec, which I thought was an interesting combination. And I also liked the array of blends in terms of the origins for the coffee that's being used in this particular bean and this particular blend. Talk to me about the origins that you guys selected for this year's Miracle on North 6th Street.
Yeah, so we have 5 different components, 5 different blends into this. We have 2 Ethiopians, we have 1 Costa Rican, a Colombian, and a Tanzania.
Okay, well that's a lot. Yeah. So you get a lot of flavor profiles in there for sure.
Definitely.
All right, so today we're going to be breaking down the French press here on Brew School and what is the best method. Now, many of you know and probably already use the French press. And there's different techniques that, of course, you can use on a French press. Obviously, there's the aspect of the bean grind itself. We'll be, of course, using our little drop grinder right here. Some people like it very coarse. Some people like it just above the fine and still in the coarse range. Kind of depends on your tone of coffee. And then, of course, there's the mixture of bean to water. And, of course, you'll have your nice little water pot over here. And then there's always the question of whether or not you stir, you let the coffee set in the French press itself. So Cary, we're gonna get you to answer all those great questions today. All right, Cary, so I'm gonna go ahead and break into the bag of this lovely Miracle we've got here.
Great.
And when you go to the ratio of bean to water, what are you recommending in terms of the best for a couple of cups of French press coffee?
A general nice baseline for coffee to water ratio is about a 1 to 15.
Okay.
That's a good part to start. If you like it a little bit weaker, you can go 1 to 16 coffee
All
to
right.
water ratio.
1 to 16. So we'll need about 500 and what, 34, 35 grams?
34 grams of coffee to 500 grams of water.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. We're going to tweak that down just a hair. Getting these beautiful beans. And I want to kind of show off this bean here too, because this is kind of an interesting roast that you have on this bean. I like this. This is more of kind of a chocolatey mocha. You don't have that real intense dark bean that some of the regions have. Was that kind of the intention for this particular roast?
Yeah, so everything that we roast is medium to light roast.
All right, medium to light roast. So I'm going to add in our lovely little amount here for our mix today on the French press. We're going to grind that down. Looking great. And the last of the hopper. All right, so we have that on kind of a coarse grind, and it is perfect. As you can kind of see, maybe here on camera, we'll show it a little bit here on that to show the grind here. So you can kind of see that. It's a fairly coarse grind, and that's one thing that is a little different in everybody's approach toward French press. Cary, when you look at your best French press, how do you go about the grind? What's the process for getting that perfect coffee grind for a French press?
Yeah, so I usually go with a coarser grind for my French press because it's a full immersion. Takes about 4 minutes to brew. So you do want it to sit in a little bit. You don't want it too fine because when it's too fine, it will extract a lot faster and you will get more of those unpleasant flavors out.
Right. Yeah, and that I think is one of those things. So in the French press, of course, you want to preheat your vessel. That is one of the key things in doing any kind of coffee blending or fresh coffee making in preheating a vessel. And the reason by that is you don't want to shock the coffee itself. So we're going to go ahead and preheat the vessel itself and get it ready for pouring in our coffee. And of course, our grind right here is perfect. And I think we've got the right coarse grindness here. Let's get off the set there. Then we'll add our water to that. And let me zero that out. Okay, now we can get the perfect, because this is kind of the thing that can make or break your French press blend in the mornings is making sure that your ratio is correct, your vessel is heated and really ready for a great coffee brew. And then, of course, making sure that you get a chance to get that coffee in there and steeping it. So we're almost in there at 500, pouring through. Perfect. All right, we've got our 500 ratio right there. And Cary, let's talk about the press itself now. We won't go and do anything. But as you can see, right here, you probably see this a lot as an educator, you get that great coffee crust right there on the top. What is the best method for breaking that down? Because you've still got a lot of uncultured great beans in here and grinds that we want to get into this blend.
Yeah, so that crust forming on top is basically indication of how fresh the coffee is. That's all the CO2 is getting released once you saturated all the beans. So I usually just take a little spoon and I give it a nice gentle swirl, make sure all the grounds are nice and saturated before I add the lid on top.
Gotcha. Okay. A nice soft swirl. And you are exactly right. That went from a coffee crust to a nice, beautiful foam right there on our French press. So that's a gorgeous look right there. I love the color of this coffee too. It kind of has that milky chocolatey flavor on it, which is a great presentation for a French press as well. All right, so As we've done here on Brew School, the idea behind understanding the process is really breaking down the methodologies of great coffee making. Of course, you can do a lot of this with Partners Coffee. If you're in New York, they've got some great brew schools right there. Do you guys do the brew schools in the actual stores, or do you have a facility for that?
Yeah, we actually do the brew school right behind next to the roaster in our cafes and our retail stores. We actually have 2 labs, one in Brooklyn and one in the West Village, Manhattan.
All right. Of course, we're going to wait about 4 to 6 minutes for our coffee to steep. So we've got about 3 to 4 minutes left here. But I want to talk to you, Cary, about a few things. And that is, when you look at education around coffee, and people are coming into brew school there in New York at Partners, what are some of the first things that people are asking about? Are they asking more about the bean and the origin, or the devices?
Generally the devices. When people come to brew school, they're just looking for some guidance of how to make coffee better at home.
Do you find people leaning toward French press? Do they lean towards Chemex, espresso? What are some of the methods that you feel like are kind of the home runs for people first getting started?
It ranges. It really ranges from what people basically want to learn to make. Some people like to make French press because French press is fairly easy. You set it and you forget it. You don't really have to cater to it.
Right.
And some people like to make a filter pour over coffee where you do have to spend 3 minutes making sure that you're pouring yourself.
Right.
And you can't walk away from it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys know, a lot of the people viewing this show are operators, and this is one of the classic methods that servers typically use to do fresh coffee at restaurants and hospitality locations, at hotels, fine dining, etc. But so often when I have or order French press from a restaurant, I find that they've oversteeped the coffee, meaning they've let it set too long before they get it out of there. And you can tell in the tones of the coffee itself. So for you servers out there and you restaurant operators, the key is that perfect timing of coffee to cup. And if you are using French press and you're out there using it in a hospitality application or a restaurant application, that is the make or break of getting a great French press. A lot of people take this right to the table, which is good, but a server should always let the customer know, hey, listen, this has been in there for about 3 minutes, allow 2 more minutes, and you're ready to go. That's typically where I see mistakes made in the restaurant business. And unfortunately, it makes for a bad cup of coffee if you don't get that timing perfect, which brings us right back to right now, which is at 4 to 5 minutes. And we're going to go ahead and hit this, Cary. Do you like to slam it down or slowly take it down?
I can slowly just take it down.
Okay. All right, so we're going to let the plunger kind of do its work, pushing that beautiful coffee right down to the base. And a lot of times in that brew, you'll see that it has kind of created a sediment right there at the baseline, which is perfect for the French press. And of course, this has a gorgeous coloration. And let's get this right here in the coffee cup. And you can kind of see us coming right through. So it's filtering right into there. Perfect look. All right, I'm going to stop about a half cup for me. And you can kind of see right here, so I can show the camera, a little bit of the note itself. It's kind of a medium blonde color in the result coffee. The beautiful thing, of course, you'll notice here, there's no grinds whatsoever. So our French press was successful. Cary's Brew School tips were right on the money. So thank you there, Cary. I love that. All right, we're going to do the final taste test here, which is part aroma for me, because that's a big part of coffee tasting itself.
Definitely.
Miracle on North 6th Street has not let us down here on Brew School. This is a great blend that you guys have up there at Partners Coffee, Cary. So congrats on what you're doing there for that.
Thank you.
All right, so of course we're going to be doing more and more coverage on topics around different techniques and the beans themselves, and we will be having people like Cary on from Partners Coffee to break all of that down for us. So Cary, I want to give you a big thanks to stopping in on the show today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so here on Brew School, we will be breaking down both techniques and beans in upcoming episodes. But the main thing you want to stay tuned for is the giveaway. And we're going to give you details of that in the links below, a little bit about how to get it and how to take advantage of it. So make sure and stay tuned right here on Taste Kitchen for more great coffee tips for you.